Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Dojo Live. Today is Wednesday, February 9th, 2022. This is Tulio Siragusa broadcasting from Southern California. And joining me today is our old friend, the one who created this whole thing 7 years ago, Carlos Ponce, who's broadcasting from the city of Eternal Springs, Cuernavaca, Mexico. Hi, Carlos. Welcome to the show.
Finally, you got it right, Tulio. After practicing
That's
so
right.
much,
After
right?
all these years, I get it right.
Yeah.
Okay, and joining us is Vikram Chalana, who is the CEO at Pictory.ai. Hi, Vikram. Welcome to the show. He's broadcasting from Seattle.
Hey guys, yeah, pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. Today, we're going to talk about something very interesting. You know, we've seen video become the primary medium, at least on social media, for getting messages out and content. And many more people are using video even for sales efforts, sending video snippets, looms. There's all different types of technologies out there. But, creating video is not always so easy, and editing them is not always so easy. Maybe there's a way to do it that's better. So that's what we're going to discover today. But before we dive into the topic and see what we can learn, let's get to know our guests. So, Vikram, if you could please introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll talk about Pictory right afterwards.
Happy to. Thanks, and I'm really glad to be here in really good company. And so my quick story. I am originally from India, as you might have guessed from my name, and I've been in Seattle for about 30 years now. Pretty much finished my degree, my undergrad in engineering. So I'm an engineer. That's another fact. And came here to University of Washington in Seattle for grad school. And I thought I was going to go back in 2 years. I met my wife 2 years later, and we're still married 30 years into it. And to complete the circle, both my kids are University of Washington students. One of them graduated, the other one is still there. So we're a Husky UW family, and then I basically I finished my grad school, worked at a few software companies, and then since 2003 I've been an entrepreneur. That's what I do. I love entrepreneurship, building companies, startups, seeing them grow from scratch, from a seed to something big. And I love Seattle because Seattle is a great place to be an entrepreneur. There's a lot of talent, a lot of VCs, a lot of investors that we can go to. But also Seattle is lovely because of the mountains and the ocean, both very close by. So I know we were talking about oceanfront living, and I mean, you have both. You have lakes and oceans, and you have mountains. So in the summer, I love to hike and be outside, and in the winter, skiing and winter sports.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the introduction. Something about a girl, huh? Kept you staying back in town. Huh?
Yeah.
Congratulations. So let's talk about Pictory. Tell us what is the company all about? What do you guys do?
Yeah. So I'll kind of start the origin story and why we started it. So as I was doing my previous venture, it was a company called Wind Shuttle, and we grew that to about 350 employees. It was in the SAP space, completely different from this. But I ended up being more of in a thought leader role. I was a CTO and a founder, and so I was constantly creating long form content, whether it was webinars or blogs or white papers. I was just always creating content. I was the king of long form content there. And it was great 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 2010, we did this paper on do more with less in the world of SAP, and people lapped it up. We did this 8-page white paper. We advertised it as a free white paper, and we got so much business from that white paper. And this was 2010. And after that, we've never been able to replicate that success with any piece of long form content. What happened then, which we probably all see, is just the content exploded, content types exploded, and everybody was preferring videos. We all prefer videos, preferably shorter the better. So now it's like 15-second, 30-second TikTok style videos. And but videos are so hard. They were always so difficult to get done. Anytime I had to get video done, I had to count on these, I call them video wizards. They wear capes and have ponytails, and it was just hard to get their time and attention. And so we said, okay, there gotta be a better way. So as we were exiting that company, a few of us got together and said, hey, we're gonna figure out if we can use AI to help make or edit videos, make it easy for anyone. So you've seen Canva, you've probably all heard of Canva. Canva kind of disrupted Photoshop. It makes anyone a designer. Yeah. So we want to make anyone a videographer, a video producer, a video editor.
Nice.
That's kind of our mission.
Love it. Well, let's see what we can learn. Carlos, if you could, please, let's introduce the topic and see what we're answering today.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be answering one question. That question is, how can AI help turn anyone, as our guest was saying, into a video editor and a prolific video content marketer? So the topic, as chosen by our guest today, is messages to video, a path to quick engagement. So Vikram, let's start with the why. Why did you choose this particular topic, and why did you feel it was relevant for today's day and age? Let's start with that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, the topic is totally relevant because we're all struggling to be heard. We're all struggling to get heard, get our message out. We all have something to teach the world. We all have something to tell the world, but there's too much. There's too much content, and what stands out, the kind of content that stands out today, is video. So if I can take my message, my short message, I mean, this is what you guys do, right? I mean, you're creating video podcasts and getting the word out through videos, and that's exactly what everybody needs to be doing. That's the way to engage your audience. That's the way to engage your customers. That's the way now to show thought leadership. And it's going to be, sometimes it's longer form videos like this engaging podcast format. Sometimes it's going to be really short videos, 30-second videos, and you need something that you need a way to produce and edit and create these videos very easily.
Awesome. Bea, if you're watching, he just said a perfect little video clip for us to why Dojo Live, because it's a way to show thought leadership. I love that little clip that we can grab from this show right here.
I'm sure Bea's watching, so she'll get it.
I know. So,
and I'll tell you a way to do it. You basically use Pictory, because it will we can take this recording, push it into Pictory, and you can select that segment when I said that just from the text, and create a clip from that. So anyone can do it. You don't need.
All right, walk us through that. That's a perfect scenario. Just sort of paint a picture of how it works. So let's say we finish the show. It's live, but it's recorded. It stays forever on YouTube and all the different channels we're on.
Yep.
And we download it. And now what can I do with it?
Yeah. So
how does it work?
What you would do is you would upload it into our platform, Pictory. What Pictory does is when you upload it, it transcribes it in the process. So it's puts it on our cloud, but also transcribes it. So completely extracts all the text from it, and it's a very good transcription, like 95% accuracy. Then after the transcription, every word is associated with a timestamp, and we know that. But as a user, you don't see that. You just see the transcription. So now I can go through the transcription and then say, hey, here's where I said some F-bombs. I'm going to remove this. So I can just simply select the sections of the transcript, say delete that. And then others, I can say, hey, highlight this. So I can say, here are some really interesting sections I said. And so I just press a highlighter button there and just select those segments. And then I press one other button and says, create a highlights reel from this. And it's
Wow.
going to create from this 45-minute or 30-minute recording, you can create a 2-minute summary with your selected highlights.
That's simple. That's
It's
brilliant.
that simple.
I'm curious to see it. I mean, do you have a way to show us a little bit how it works, or
I'm happy.
putting you on the spot?
No, I'm happy to share. I'm happy to
Yeah,
share
let's
my
check it
screen.
out. I mean, that sounds really straightforward and simple.
Yeah.
We'd love to see it.
Yeah, so let me share that, and that's a very common use case for us here. So this is the home screen for Pictory, and so you would upload your video here, and I'm going to show you a sample video that we have in our package. So when you upload it, it's transcribing it, and then after transcription, it brings the transcript right here and the video right here. So sorry, it's a political video, but I'll tell you why I chose this, okay? And the reason I chose this is, you see all these highlighted words. Obama used to say a lot of ers and ums. He was famous for that. Jay Leno once did a skit on that, saying in one speech he had like 49 ers or something. So you can see, and what Pictory will let you do is,
This
with a
could
click
be
of a
useful
button.
to speech writers and giving feedback on what they need to work on as a speaker.
Great. Yes, absolutely. And what I can do, because I have timestamp for every word, I can say, let me remove all these filler words. So they're actually not just gone from the video; they're gone from the.
Oh,
They're not just gone
wow.
from the transcript, but they're gone from the video. So I'm
Just
going to
like
play this.
that. All the
Yeah, I'm going
ums
to
are
play
gone.
this so you can hear. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So all of them are gone from the video and from the transcript as well. Similarly, I can say, hey, in this video, Obama did a joke about Canada. So I'm going to search for Canada. I'm going to say, hey, I don't want this section of the video at all. So I can just delete this sentence and boom, it's gone from the video. So first, really good to clean up your video, to publish it before you can push it to YouTube. Also silences. You can say, hey, these dots are actually silences. So I can say remove silences. Everything bigger than 1 second should be gone.
Oh, brilliant.
They're all gone from the video. Now I have this whole thing, I can just basically generate the video and publish it as is. Now what I want to do is I want to say, hey, what were some of the interesting sentences? So in fact, we can do two things. We'll use AI to help pick out the most interesting sentences. So this is something very unique, and we have a patent on this one. So it went and looked at what are the most unique sentences that were occurred during this press conference. And some of them are really small. So I'm going to say, hey, remove this from the highlights. Remove this from the highlights. Now I have 3 sentences. I'm fine with that. So actually there are 3 highlights. If I generate this as one video, it'll be a 37-second long video, which is great. Like, I mean, this is like a summary of a press conference, right? Or I can say, I want each sentence to be a separate video. So I can say, hey, download these 3 sentences as separate video clips. One just with this, one just with this, and one just with this. And then
That's
I have
amazing.
from a 45-minute presentation or a 30-minute presentation, I can generate 20 clips that I can put it on social. I can just keep dripping it every day to my audience. And that's what I'm talking about, like converting messages to videos, short videos.
This is
Vikram,
mind-blowing.
yeah, I
We're
have a
like
question.
watching this, and the whole team's like, we need this for ourselves. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
and
Carlos.
Yeah, Vikram, I have a question. I mean, I couldn't help, but I just had to ask this question. It's very easy for me to picture like an individual, like myself, for example, sitting down at some video and working with the Pictory and doing a bunch of really cool stuff on my own. But what about teams? For example, let's say you have a team of people who work with videos, like just like we do. For example, there are several people
involved, yeah.
that could definitely benefit in collaborating in one
Mm.
specific project. Does Pictory allow collaboration, or does it like facilitate collaboration and in some way,
You're
like you can work on the same video and have multiple people? Is that a possibility, or what can you tell us about
no,
it?
it's absolutely on our roadmap because I hear it all the time from our customers. So today our customers are individual creators, people who want to become YouTubers, who want to create their
Hmm.
content on YouTubers. So they are all doing it themselves. So
Hmm.
this works fine for them. But as soon as they get a little bit bigger, they hire a virtual assistant or two, and then they want to share it. So today we don't have a full workflow functionality. It's something that our team is building. And
Okay.
we have a fantastic engineering team who are constantly adding new things in here. So workflow will be here in the second half of the year. We'll have that.
Right. And
I
right
mean,
now, is it constrained to just in the English language, or do you work with multiple languages? What type of who's your customer base and located? Is it like geographic restrictions?
They are everywhere. So these you can have videos in Spanish, you can upload them in Japanese, you can upload them, and the transcription works really well in all these languages. So we
Awesome.
have
Great.
we have support for about
that's
20 different
amazing.
languages. Yep.
Oh, incredible. Thank you, Vikram.
All
So
right,
sorry
so
to go
let's
back to
just
you.
no, that's great. Let's paint a picture of what it's like today. I'm just I want to really highlight the value of this because I see it. I hope the audience sees it too. So today, if I want to edit a video, I mean, I have to download some kind of editing software. I got to do chopping and reconnecting, and then I have to find the right spot. It's not necessarily
Timelines,
tied to a
yeah.
transcript. So it's a lot of work. I mean, it's hours. I've done it. I did even just a little podcast video script just to do a promotional, and it took hours just to do a 30-second clip because I don't have the tools, and it's just all this other stuff that needs to be there. And then it's still a little choppy, and it's not always perfect. This seems so simple. I mean, it's like highlight, press a button, remove a whole section. What about inserting new things? Can you also
Yeah.
insert? Can you add? Can you edit? Let's say someone did a presentation and they were like, man, this would have been a good point to show a little demo. Can you insert content that wasn't there?
I can insert content, but the problem is like I can't change. So obviously I can't change your speech, right?
Right.
But I can say, okay, between this point and this point, so I didn't get to the storyboard section. We have the storyboard section where you can actually create new scenes between the existing scenes, and then you can absolutely insert demos.
Right.
And
So I could say, hey, I'm going
as
to quickly interrupt here the original content because I wanted to add this Okay, so you
Yep.
can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's super awesome.
And one of the key points you mentioned, which actually is really a pain point, timestamps. So we realize that timestamps are a pain point for everybody because to get accurate timestamps, you may have to watch the video multiple times, and then you let your video editor know, hey, start from 2 minutes 26 seconds and 3.26.3 seconds and go into 2 minutes 36.5 seconds and create a clip for me. And if you got it a little bit wrong, then that cycle goes on again. So we want people, like, we don't have in any of our things, we don't have timestamps. We don't have a concept of timestamps. We don't want people thinking of timestamps. We just want people thinking of text and saying, where did they say something meaningful, something interesting that I can just pick that part and just pick the words.
All right, so just to go a little further with this, and just using dojolive as an example, we use a transcript platform to then turn each show into a transcript, which gets embedded into the landing page. There's a process to do that. Then we've done video clips where we've used certain platforms to do that, to chop up videos, but it's very manual intensive. But with this, it's just one tool. I can get my transcript, I can do the edits, and I can even edit the transcript, which is pretty interesting. Because sometimes you could edit the transcript, but then the video's still there. So I can actually remove a part of a video and remove the transcript, which then it's seamless and flawless. Let's talk about the use cases. You said it's predominantly YouTubers or content creators, influencers using this personally. Are there businesses using this as well?
Yes.
What are the applications there? Just
Ye-
curious where it's going in terms of your adoption rate. Who's adopting this?
Yeah. So that's kind of where we started is actually business selling to trying to sell to businesses. So we do have some large companies using this, and their use case is very, very similar. So what you talked about, so this customer is a company named Aptio here in Seattle, and they do a lot of they're a SaaS platform for large businesses, and they do a lot of webinars. In the pandemic, the number of webinars just increased, and uh, and for webinars, they record everything, and then the the webinar team, which is the product marketeers or the product managers or the engineers who would put on the webinars, they would then send it over to the video team to get those clips done, which is exactly what and they probably had to spend hours trying to find the
Mhm.
right places to, and uh, and so it's the same exact use case now. Now they gave Pictory to all their marketeers who actually put on webinars, and they themselves create the clips. Then they post the clips on social media. They post the clips on email, all of that.
Amazing. Okay, so before we go into the cultural part of the segment today, I'm curious, and I don't know if this is in your roadmap, but it'd be really cool. And I know that Carlos will appreciate this because he's an illustrator and cartoonist. What if I could
Yes.
just type out a script and it auto generates like a little cartoon that describes what I'm writing? Is that next? Is that possible? You know, those
Can
little
I?
entertaining cartoons.
Yeah, it won't be cartoon, but I'll show you. Can I show you my screen again?
Yes, please. Let's see what we
Please
got. What
do.
you got
Yes.
there.
So you can type in any script here.
All right. For those listening in the
Amazing the world.
podcast, he's typing some words in a script editor of the
Yeah.
application.
Pictory is helping them. So I'm just, this is my on-the-fly demo script that I created.
All
So
right.
just 2 sentences. So I say what size of the video you want to create. I said 16:9. And now what it's doing is we have a huge library of stock content, and it automatically tries to find the best stock visual to match that sentence.
Oh, let's see this one with the world on it.
Yeah, so it basically it created a video with these 2 sentences. The creator economy is eating the world, Pictory is helping them. And I can then say I want to add music. It automatically picks out a music track, and then I say I want this narrated by a machine voiceover, and I'm done with creating a video from. So it's not the cartoon kind of video. It's basically
Right.
you've seen this. We call them
But
faceless
that could be the
videos.
next iteration of that.
Yes.
How cool would that be, Carlos?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Imagine.
Integrate some kind of animation element in there.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
That's
we're
awesome.
imagining bigger. You see what happens when new technology comes out? Then you start imagining things you didn't even think that could be possible as possible.
Right.
All right. This is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean,
We're impressed.
we could be here for hours, right, Tulio? I mean, this is
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we our time is limited. So, but before we wrap up today, Vikram, I'd like to ask you specifically about the company, what we call the company culture, and the reason is because there might be folks out there who are watching or could be watching and might want to come work for you at some point. What would you say to these people? What would you tell them that would entice them to just come work for you? How would you reel them in? If like the best talent in the world, you want to get them into the company, how would you reel them in? What's cool about the company that would
So
entice them to come?
obviously, like the coolest thing is that we're working on really cool technology.
Yeah, it's very cool. I want to go work with them because of the cool technology.
Yeah. But that's only part of it. Technology changes every year, right? What stays is the culture of the company, and that's really important to us. And from day one of the things is we set up our our value system, our ethos, and over time it's evolved a little bit, but it has stayed the same. One of the top things in our culture playbook is respect for our customers and respect for our team members. So we all work together. Some of us have been super successful in life. Some of us are brand new in our careers. We all respect each other, and that's a big part. And the second big part is a growth mindset. Always be learning. So when we got into this video space, we didn't know anything about videos. Like I said, I didn't know anything about videos, and neither did my team. But we learned. We spent years trying to just figure out how to do it the best way. So I see every time outsiders come into a new field, they come in with two advantages. The two advantages are, one, they don't know what's impossible. So you can try to do as much as others put limits on themselves, but an outsider doesn't know what's impossible. And the second advantage they have is they always come with a growth mindset, because I don't know anything about this field. I'm going to approach this with humility, with learning, and just growing myself. And so those two are our key culture principles, if you will: respect and growth.
Excellent.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
that really
absolutely.
is.
Thank you so much, Vikram. Appreciate it.
I love this idea of growth, and often companies, they're always trying to get people that have been within the space or have the industry knowledge in the background. And I've always been a believer, look for transferable skills, because someone's going to bring in, transferable ideas, but with a renewed passion for something new, something they haven't done before, which is a lot more exciting than basically just finding a bunch of clones of yourself, right? Yeah, it's like, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years. I want to bring that experience, but do something new. So you get the excitement and the passion of someone wanting to do something new while having the experience that's transferable. So congratulations for codifying that, because that's like such a key thing in terms of creating the kind of culture where you have curious people who also have experience, which is great, So, all right. So you've been an entrepreneur now since 2013, you said? 2003.
2003. Yeah, it's a long
2003.
time.
It's a long time. So for those who are on the fence, who've worked for nice companies, who've built a nice career for themselves, but perhaps they have this desire to create, to do something different, to start a new type of culture as well. Maybe they're not getting what they need from being in a corporate culture, and they want to bring about something else, but they're on the fence, like, I don't know if I should do this. What words of advice do you have for them? You're a long-time entrepreneur. We'd love to hear your words of wisdom.
Yeah, it's really one thing, and it's and I'm going to steal somebody else's words, because this just appeals to me a lot. Is you only have control over the future that you yourself can create, and everything else is completely outside of our control. Even what you can create is not under your control sometimes, but still, that the best way to change the future is to reinvent it yourself. To invent it yourself.
I love that. Well, we're up on time, but we've enjoyed speaking and learning all these new things that we can do. I'm excited for this platform. We have to check this out. I'm going to check this out. So just one final question. How's the pricing? Is it on a license basis, per user? How does that work?
Yeah, it's per user.
Okay.
And it's also, there is some limits, so you can get limits on the amount of videos that you can upload and process. But yeah, it's generally a per user. Yeah, different levels of users. Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely, people, go check it out. The site is Pictory.ai. So thanks for being with us. Stay with us as we just go off the air in a few minutes. But before we do, let's announce what we got coming up next week. This is the last live show for this week. We have a rebroadcast scheduled for tomorrow and Friday. And then what do we got coming up next week, Carlos?
Yeah, absolutely. But before we go there, Tulio, I got to celebrate that, me, whole 30 minutes went by and I didn't mute myself for once.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment, quite a feat. Okay, next week we have a full week. Next week we have on Tuesday we have Megan Anderson, the principal of Abodu. That's the name of the company. Then on Wednesday we have Chris Doyle from Build, which is a fintech company. And finally on Thursday we have Yadu Gopalan from Esper or Esper. I hope I'm getting it right, but it's ESPER, Esper. That's what we have. We have a full week ahead. And of course, don't miss, folks, next Monday, same time, we got the recap show in which we recap in 10 minutes whatever we did this week or the previous week. We recap it on Monday in 10 minutes. So join us next week from Monday to Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Dojo Live. Don't miss it. And thank you, Vikram, for having been with us today.
Thank you.